Hi everybody, Retro Robbins here. Right, the following show is thanks to everybody on Spectrum for Everyone and Spectrum Forever who posted their comments on a question that I posted yesterday on what they considered were the toughest games for the Spectrum. We're going to call the show Joystick Breakers. So if you want to see what the top 15 was and a few honourable mentions, watch the show coming up next. Roll the titles! What? Seriously? I know what to do with you. New. Hi everybody, welcome to the Retro Robbins Show. Today entitled Joystick Breakers. And why? Because of the question that I posted to you on Spectrum Forever and Spectrum for Everyone. What do you consider the toughest games for the Spectrum? Well, we've got a few honourable mentions and I've got my list in front of me which is compiled by you, the retro-loving Spectrum greatness. So, let's start with the honourable mentions. One or two quite surprising mentions actually, and I was more than shocked to see this come up. Somebody said Manic Miner. Really? One of the hardest games of the Spectrum, Manic Miner? Yes, the first level is hard, but generally speaking, once you get the knack of it, it's fairly easy. You wait till you get to the solar power plant. That's hard. Or the telephone one. Right, so let's have a look. A few honourable mentions. We'll get them out of the way before we get to the top 15. And of course, we'll try the top 5 out and see if they're really as tough as you lot have made out. So we had suggested Dragon's Lair. Yeah, but that's not too bad. Jet Set Willy. Why don't you just poke it? There's hundreds of pokes for it. Manic Miner. Who suggested Manic Miner? Really? It's one of the games I'm good at. Oh well. Jack in the Beanstalk. Didn't really play that one. Platoon. Green Beret. That was tough in parts. It was a good game though. Hunchback. Arcanide. Now there's a game that's tough. Vampire. Project Future. Shadow of the Beast. A View to a Kill. Didn't really get that one. But you know what I mean. Nightmare. Ghost and Goblins. River Raid. Monsters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. Not monsters. Can't even read my own writing. That doesn't surprise me. Ship of Doom. Game Over. King's Keeps. I've not played that one. Must try that one out. You know what surprised me? Out of all the games that you've all posted as you reckon was one of the hardest for the Spectrum or that are really tough, there was only me that said Rex. Surely Rex was hard. Okay, so let's get on with the show. What did you, Spectrum for Everyone and Spectrum Forever, consider the top 15 in this order? And of course I've got casting votes, so if anyone would like to join, I sort of chose over which one goes above that one. Number 15, Whizball. Oh my life, that was difficult to control. Agree. Number 14, Cauldron. That was a tough game. Cauldron was a tough game. Squidge. Well, that wasn't a complete game. It was a bit of lazy programming. You need to fix yourself. That's rubbish. I don't know who put that in, but a few people suggested that, so I had to put it down. Platoon. Yeah, okay. Navy Moves. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. R-Type. I thought this would have been higher up in the list because R-Type was solid. I couldn't complete that without the Infinite Lives poke. And as somebody once said on level 4, if you lose all them weapons and you lose a life, it was almost impossible to complete. I'd like to see a video of somebody completing that when they've lost all their artillery, if you know what I mean. R-Type, that was solid. Number 9, Cybernide. Can't say I really played that much. It did look hard. I think I've played it once or twice, but not much. Number 8, surprised this one wasn't higher up on the list. Had a very unfair collision on it and you could get stuck in a few places. It even warned you after loading, please blow on the keyboard gently. Yes, you guessed it, Brian Bloodaxe. Number 7, Cyber Run. Yeah, not bad. Number 6. Explorer. Can't say I've played that either. So we're into the top 5 and we're going to use the computer of choice, the Omni 128 laptop, simply because it's easy for me to log up to my screen and try the first games. So these are the top 5 games that we consider joystick breakers. Well, if you use the keyboard, just chuck your joystick, because you didn't want to chuck your keyboard. You'd lose your computer. So number 5. Whoops, I've switched it back off. Number 5. You considered... 3 people voted for this, 4 people I think in total, as one of the toughest games, Technician Ted. Shall we have a look at it? I'm sure you've all seen it before. Mind me as I avoid the screen of the screen camera so I can see what I'm doing. Technician Ted. We'll go for the snapshot, shall we? Oh, it's going to be Z80 probably. So why do you think this game was so hard? Well, I'll tell you for why. Because it had a rather unfair way of losing all your lives in one go. Not only was it pretty tricky to get over some of the obstacles, but yeah, it was definitely tough. I mean, as platformers go, I didn't think it was that bad, but it got inside the top 5, so yeah. But there is a few places where, you know, when you've made it so far, you can lose all your lives in one go. So it doesn't matter about all them lives. If you enter a screen rather badly, when you have to time these jumps absolutely to perfection, especially if you're going across the top with them hooks, they're deadly. Oh, dear me, it is tough, isn't it? I don't remember it being all this tough. See, that's intense concentration there. That's intense concentration. Oh. We've made it! We've made it! And this was the room of doom that I remember, because there is one mistake that I made here. I think we've all made this mistake, and I'll show you the mistake in a minute. That's even if I can still remember how to play the game. It's been a while. I used to love the loading sequence to this game. Wasn't it great? Certainly was. So this was voted number 5. And we're about to see why, possibly, that you all thought it was so hard. Above Rex, which didn't even get a mention except by me. Oh my life. I could do quite well with this, to be honest. And this could be the reason why, because if you drop down there, it was the end. What? Okay, so let's go move on to see what number 4 was. So, number 4. Ooh, it's a good game actually. I quite like this game. Voted by you from Spectrum Forever and Spectrum for Everyone was Army Moves. Total of 4 people mentioned this one. Shall we have a look? See if it really is as hard as you lot made out. And you're probably right, to be fair, but you know, who am I? I'm rubbish at everything. But let's give it a go. Army Moves. You had a side A and a side B. The good thing is you can redefine the keys on this. Oh, come on, start. So here we go, we can define the key, so we'll do that to start with. Right, I have to remember you get 2 fire options, don't you? Up, the first fire is across, second fire is along, we'll have E for exit, H for hold. Let's give it a go. Why was it this as hard as you thought? Well, possibly because if you didn't get over... Hard just to get over the bridge, let alone anything else. Good game, well done in there, but yeah, as tough as nails. Oh, and that's why it was hard. It was just almost impossible to get over the bridge sometimes. And once you started making a mistake, believe me, they came thick and fast. But yeah, and the other level was just as hard as well, so you spend ages. Let's have a look at the next game, shall we? So what do you consider number 3 hardest? Well, I'll tell you for now. Number 3, as voted by Spectrum Forever and Spectrum for Everyone, and I can understand why, was Underworld. So we have a look at the game. I've got to remember with this snap loader won't probably load, but see, the trick is to, before I do that, I need to reset the computer. Oops. So Underworld number 4. How many people actually said? 4 people mentioned this game. There's the loading screen. I like the interface too, but yeah, we'll go for 4 interface 2. I can use my joystick. The reason why this one I reckon is so tough is the fact that when you fall down a hole, it's really hard to get up. I mean, it's even hard just to move. Oh dear me, it's hard, isn't it? Oh, how did I do that without looking? Normally I fall down there and I'm stuck forever. Now, I need to start firing really. Oh, I forgot what the fire button was. But yeah, for example, it's just that they keep bashing you off things. When you're on the balloon, going up, and you're nearly at the top, and one of them just comes across at the right time. And of course, when you fall too far, boom, you're dead. Underworld. I'm sure you've all played this one, and yeah, it's annoying. It's absolutely annoying. I mean, look, you swing your left or right, but one of them catches you, they can knock you off and you lose a life. Honestly? Okay, so we're getting to the nitty gritty, the last 2. I'm surprised. So, number 2. With a total of 5 people suggesting this game. Can you see what it is yet? Lunar Jetman. I remember playing this for hours. I didn't think it was that hard. But then, I never did any good on it. It took a long time to start. It was a follow-up, wasn't it, to Jetpack. So you didn't think it was that hard. Within seconds, I've bit the dust. Dear me. Retro Williams, you're rubbish. I know, but I'm not claiming to be any good. I'm just taking what you told me. Don't ever suggest hard games for me to play again. Yes, a total of 4 volts. Follow up to Jetpack, really. I thought it was a cracking game. Once you got into it, it got a bit easier. I'll try and get him. You know what? Should we just get straight on with it? So what was the all-time horriblest, hardest game that you, Spectrum Forever and Spectrum for Everyone, classed as the hardest game for the Spectrum? And of course, you don't have to agree with this. If you've got any comments on games that may have been left out, please leave them in the comments below. Shall we move on? The hardest game that you voted in the survey for the Spectrum was Airwolf. And let's have a look at that. It is quite tough, but it is doable, but it is quite tough. So, without no further ado, let's have a look at your number 1. If it loads. Okay, see to play. I think the thing that made this quite difficult was keys were weird, weren't they? So yeah, the first part where you got to get through this barrier. If you don't shoot them quick enough, it comes back down. And then you got to fly through. Oh, me. Oh, and if you get that block, you are done for. You might as well just go back out and come straight back in. I did try to fly past this fastly, but yeah. This is a look of intense concentration on Retro Robbins. Yes, we've done it. We've made it through. Oh. And once again, you've only got a certain amount of time to get these done before it all comes back, look. You just can't get through it, can you? You know what? Yes, that was the number one as voted from you. And I'm Retro Robbins. And it doesn't take anything too hard for me to get frustrated. Hope you enjoyed the show, and if you do like the show, please subscribe and like and share. But for me, Retro Robbins, thank you for watching, of course. And we'll go for the quick top 15 once more. Number 1, Airwolf. Number 2, Lunar Jetman. Number 3, Underworld. Number 4, Army Moves. Number 5, Technician Ted. 6, Explorer. 7, Cyberrun. 8, Brian Bloodaxe. 9, Cybernoid. 10, R-Type. Number 11, Army Moves. Sorry, Navy Moves. We've done Army Moves, haven't we? 12, Platoon. Squid. Well, that wasn't really a proper game, was it? Who suggested that? Never mind. Cauldron number 14. And Whizball number 15. So for me, Retro Robbins, you have a nice working week or weekend, depending on when you watch this, and I'll keep you updated soon. What's coming up in my future show? We're going to do some hardware reviews. I've got something being sent to me that I'm looking forward to. Shan't mention any names until I've tried it out and compared it with other hardware of the same sort of type. See which one's better. See if I like them both. Any news on the Spectrum Next? They're still waiting, obviously, for the money from the Kickstarter to go through. But as soon as I find anything out for you, I'll let you know. But for me, Retro Robbins, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.